Hello and welcome to the A&P. I am Alex Johansson and my co-host Patrick McCallum. Patrick,
Hello, everyone. How are you getting on?
we're having logical discussions about the state of the world. Let's get into it, brother. Heyo, Patrick. How you doing, bud?
Not too bad at all, buddy. So we have Count Dankula today.
Yes, this
Cheer
is
us up a bit.
the Count Dankula 2 Electric Boogaloo Scottish fella with the beard. I really like that hat, though. I believe taxation is theft. So we're getting off to a good start with the hat and the beard.
With the hat, okay.
All
okay.
Right. Let's let this man cook and see what he's got on the grill today.
UK migrant protests spark angry confrontations as government scrambles to respond. It's because everybody's fed up. Everybody's just fed up and sick of it. Everybody's sick of all the thievery, the sexual assaults, the regular assaults, the children being stalked online, the amount of guys that are getting caught trying to meet up with underagers over Facebook and stuff like that. Everybody's sick of it. Everybody.
Yes.
These
are all, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Count Dankula is coming out strong. He's coming out strong.
As an Irishman, I can fully understand how they feel over the UK at the moment.
Here we go.
Sick yeah, we're just sick of it.
Over it. Yeah. Yeah. All the G20s, we're just over it. And it doesn't seem that the government's going to pay attention to the constituency. I was actually arguing with Grok and ChatGPT about something I sent you. We might bring that up later. It might be relevant.
yeah. I've seen that, yeah. Arguing with Grok is like arguing with a toaster. Yeah.
Well, no, I did it on ChatGPT and a Meta and a few others, and they all pretty much say the same thing. But we'll get into it later in the podcast here.
Sick of it. The sheer amount of our tax money being used to put them up in hotels and give them benefits and give them clothes and give them this and give them all that stuff, right? When they pass through about 18 different safe countries to actually get here, and we're footing the bill for it, and in return, what we get is a bunch of molested children.
That is accurate, but uncomfortable. That is a horrible, horrible truth. Right. I saw another stat where they were talking about 1 in 50 Albanians in the UK are incarcerated. That it's crazy.
People are fed up. People are fed up. People are sick of it. People are sick of it and they want rid of them. So now they're actually starting to get really angry and they're starting to protest the hotels. You've literally, I'm sorry, British government, but you've literally been begging for this. You have been asking for it, right, for very, very many years.
Right. So Margaret Thatcher stepped down. Or someone else got to form a coalition government. It was 1990, and the UK government has, according to the Irish, they haven't been acting in good faith since at least the 1100s. But in the current iteration of UK failure, it's been since Thatcher stepped down. Right, since Thatcher's been gone.
No, I would say the problem with the UK is going right back to the late 60s when they had a massive industrial revolution.
Well, I'm speaking more toward the immigration.
There was mining. Yeah, so they needed inward immigration at that time.
Right, but since Thatcher, they have not acted in good faith, and the vetting process has gone down. The little boats are showing up. They're flying in. They're being encouraged, and then the only time your flag is not allowed in your space is when you're functionally occupied. It feels to me like the UK is occupied. If you can't hold up the Union Jack or St. George, you're functionally occupied. If you can allow flags of terrorist nations to be flown freely, but you're going to say that St. George and the Union Jack can't go up, that's not cool at all. That's horrible.
But the UK government at the moment is arresting both sides of the argument. Isn't that one side that's been arrested? Both sides now are being arrested. The Palestinian protesters are being arrested. The guys flying the Union Jack are being arrested. It looks like any dissent at all is just being put down on both sides at the moment.
But why would those
they just don't know what they're doing over there?
But why is someone exhibiting national zeal going to be the one who gets arrested if they're not violent? Right? That means that they cannot express themselves. I'm English. I love England.
The UK has never had a great history of dealing with protests of any sort.
Right.
They've all been very heavy-handed.
One of my favorite things is when the UK talks about a constitutional crisis. I went on the interwebs yesterday. You know what I found out there, Patrick?
Yeah.
They don't have one. There's no formal There's no formal constitution in the UK. It doesn't exist.
No, they have law. Yeah, they have laws. They have statute books.
Yeah, they have the rule of law, except it's not even as good as was envisioned in the Talmud or the Tanakh, right? Or excuse me, the Tanakh, right? Like it's just not, right? They've taken a good thing and made it bad, and now it's just getting worse and worse and worse. So, amalgamation of things that are written, statutes and things like that. So it's difficult to nail it down. Go ahead.
But they also have a written constitution initially.
Right.
They've also added it over time, when they have kind of firmed up their borders, say with Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland,
right?
Especially after World War II and the breaking up of the empire and so on, and independence. So it's been written on top of. So yeah, there's a lot of understandings. You have to remember that Great Britain's been around for a long time, so there's a lot of constitutional agreements, and there's also law. So you have to remember, it's there since the 1200s onwards. It's a long time.
Well, it might be time for an update if something's almost 1,000 years old, right?
And they've done a pretty good job over the years updating their statute books, for the most part.
Oh, I suppose being from a young
they're
country.
also very stubborn.
What?
Yeah,
stubborn.
You have to remember. Yeah, you have to remember the US is a very young country.
That is a
it's
fact.
What, just over 250 odd years, thereabouts.
Couple hundred years and some change. It's back, you know.
Yeah, a small bit of change. Yeah, very small bit of change.
Let's get back to Count Dankula.
Oh, what do we do? It's like, how about not the thing that makes everybody angry and destroys people's lives? Yeah. What about not the thing that makes sure that everybody's on minimum wage permanently and social services are completely fucking swamped? Maybe not that. Maybe not that stuff. But anyway, that's usually the bit I save for the end. Opponents and supporters of migrants faced off in angry confrontations at demonstrations held around Britain over the holiday weekend as the government scrambled to deal with fallout from a court order that will force a hotel in a London suburb to evict asylum seekers. The ruling has created a headache for the government, which has struggled to curb unauthorised migration. I don't know why you're struggling. I mean, what happened to Britannia rules the seas, put the Navy in there and stop the boats, right?
Stop the boats! Stop the boats!
But the boats is not the only way they're getting in. And
well, I understand that, but if you can cut off one angle, that's good. But the problem is they're coming from only France, Belgium.
Yeah, a couple of thousand coming through boats. The vast majority are coming through airports, come through ferry terminals, and so on. So, yeah. I think he has a good idea. I think he has the right idea of just straightening up the borders.
That would be good. It's an island. You can not let people on an island. That's how islands work, right?
Yeah.
You know where a lot of these people are. They actually know where a lot of the illegal migrants are. They just won't go and get them. Just put them on a plane, send them home. Oh, what about their human rights? No. We're not violating any human rights, right? You don't have a human right to live wherever the fuck you want at all times, right? Back in a plane, back home.
The United States is having serious issues with that as well. And then, I was also reading where in the UK, if you've been there for a long time, you get some kind of weird seniority where it's harder to send you back home if you manage to avoid.
Yeah, you can prove residence. We have the same over here. So if you're working in the community, you're contributing to the community, paying taxes, lived here for so long. Then they kind of put you at the top. They put you at the top of the list of. You're going for interview. Well, I'm just talking about from an Irish point of view. You're going for an interview.
Okay.
They look through all your work record. They're saying, okay, you're contributing to the community. You're doing volunteer programs. You've proven your case that you can be a good citizen. So they put you forward in for citizenship and go through another process. UK is different.
If I committed a felony 20 years ago, I still committed a felony 20 years ago. If I came into a country illegally, I still came into the country illegally, right? If I've done nothing to move forward off of that point, then I am still in a place that I shouldn't be, right? Yes. Just because you've been somewhere a long time doesn't mean you weren't wrong initially.
Yes, but I think what the UK has similar when it comes to us, if they came over, they're genuinely working, they're genuinely not living off the state, obviously, and they're contributing to their local society. Then they can make a case. I'm just talking about an Irish point of view. They can make a case, a genuine case, But a lot, I think what he's on about are guys coming over and taking advantage of the social welfare systems and so on. In both countries.
They're depleting resources that should be going to citizens, 100%.
But obviously, if a guy comes over, he's never signed on the dole, and he's gone straight into work, and he's saying volunteering every Saturday and Sunday, say helping out the community, and he's a genuine, upstanding future citizen.
Yeah, if he's attempting to assimilate, perfect.
Yes,
that's great. I don't mind that.
Yes, but the vast majority aren't.
I understand that, but it still doesn't counter that they were initially wrong. It doesn't mean that the law wasn't violated. So, all right, let's let him get back to it.
Back in a plane back home. Oh, but he'll be in danger back home. Well, he survived that long, didn't he? Tough to fix your country. Fix your country instead of fucking up mine. And fulfill its responsibility to accommodate those seeking refuge. We have no responsibility for that whatsoever. What happened to the responsibility of the 18 other countries that they passed through?
Right. Safe country through passage, right? Third country, that should be a thing.
Everyone's been kicked from one country onto the next country, and both the UK and Ireland are kind of the last. We're just last in line.
Well, and
we're the guys being left with the parcel at the end of the line.
Yeah, well, they destroy their paperwork too. So, like, where are they from? I don't know. Where are they from?
No, actually. Usually, our immigration service has a similar agreement as the UK. You take their fingerprints, put it through the Interpol database, and you can get a rough idea of who they are.
Right.
Most of the time, Interpol, in fairness, has a good intelligence service. They're pretty good at it. Now, are they willing to go that extra mile? The UK, not too sure. I know we are starting to do it over here.
Something's got to be done, right? All right, let's let them do work.
What about their responsibility? No, but they come here, and the specific reason is because we give them free shit. We give them free shit, and we have some of the most lax benefits laws and benefit schemes in the world. That's why out of everywhere in Europe, they come here. They come here specifically because we give out the most free shit. That's why. Stop giving out the free shit.
Yeah, stop with the handouts.
Yeah,
don't let them get on that. Don't let them get on the dole. Don't let them hit that draw. Yeah.
Oh, draw. I heard that before, haven't I?
Yeah.
She called it dole over.
Right. If you're getting benefits from the government in the United States, especially, I've heard it mostly like up in Appalachia, West Virginia, stuff like that. Like, don't mess with my draw. Right. I'm getting my draw.
Is that where? Right. That's where the banjos are playing, isn't it?
Right. Well, actually, there was on a show I was watching. Oh, I forgot what that show was called, but
Justified.
Was it Justified? Was that? Oh, yeah, I showed that to you.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where you saw that.
When he went to arrest the criminals and they wouldn't let him out, and then he threatened to cut their benefits. And they,
right. Yeah. And then one kid's like, "You better not mess with our draw." Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So since the draw is so good, they don't want to go anywhere else.
Well, we have a very similar social welfare system in the UK. Actually, we based our system on the UK system.
For as much as y'all don't like them, you do a lot of stuff based on them. Just saying.
That's because our lawmakers sometimes are just lazy.
Yeah. Somebody's already got a template. They've already got a template. They've already got a template. We don't have to make our own product. We'll just use it. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it walk over there? Yeah, we'll just copy it, kind of. But a lot of countries do it. Well, the Spanish base it off us.
Oh my god!
And the whole national safety net idea came originally from Germany. Believe it or not.
Crazy.
So
now it's
a good idea. It's a good idea in principle to know if you lose your job and you have to pay into the system, you get something back.
Well, yeah, it bridges the gap, but if you stay on it forever, and they're doing it generationally now, so that's not the best. So
we have it over here. I can personally think of at least half dozen families I know personally.
Are they
have generational unemployment?
Are they from Ballymun?
No, actually, put it this way: they're not too far from where I'm sitting right now. It's literally about 10-minute drive away from here.
Oh, over at the pub, over at your favorite pub, right?
they're kind of barred, most of them.
All right,
Obvious reasons.
let's let this fella cook.
Are you a citizen? No, then you don't get anything. You don't get shit. You have not contributed to the system at all. You have paid zero taxes. You got here 5 minutes ago. We don't know who the fuck you are. You're probably an organised criminal. A lot of them bloody are. Right, you probably literally smuggled guns and heroin over in the fucking boats. Right, by the way, we see loads of people that are saying, oh, the average fucking people smuggler gets paid like 12 grand. Where is Aftab the goat farmer getting 12 grand from? It's because he smuggled 2 bricks of fucking black tar up his fucking jacket and that's how he got into the country. Or like there was children that were smuggled in for reasons that we're not allowed to discuss because basically most of them are being humped by MPs as we speak. But anyway.
Ooh. Old Dank is hot. He's hot.
What kind of used to British MPs pumping us over here for like 500 years.
Somebody's taking.
I'm from Ireland, so we have to throw a joke in about the UK every now and again.
You got to do it. Oh my god.
I forgot I'm not allowed to talk about that. Immigration has become a political flashpoint as countries across the West try to cope with an influx of migrants seeking a better life as they flee war-torn countries, poverty, regions racked by climate change. Shut the fuck up.
That climate change thing is absolute ass. That's not even a thing. It's not even a thing.
What, climate change?
It has not changed so severely as to make it so entire swaths of people need to move to the UK. Right?
No.
It's
well, the weather changes. Well, just looking at North Africa, it's like that. Yeah, they're not great countries to live in.
No, they're not. They're not. But it doesn't give you a free pass to go somewhere else.
But we don't want to turn our countries into their country. That's the whole point.
Right. It's a lack of assimilation. I get it.
Yeah.
Or political persecution. The debate in the UK, they're facing so much political persecution that after they come over here and like get their free house and their free money and everything, that they go back to their old country for holidays and to visit family. That's how terrified they are of that country and terrified of persecution, that they actually go back there to visit their family and then come back here. They go there on holiday. That's how terrifying and scary the country is. The debate in the UK.
And what's the funny thing about that? He's actually right.
Yeah.
Do you remember a couple of years back when a volcano erupted in Iceland and all the flights around Europe got grounded?
Yes.
For about 2 weeks, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened in those 2 weeks is, in order to get social welfare in Ireland, you have to sign on once a month. What happened was, right in the middle of those 2 weeks was that signing day. And about 40% of people didn't sign on for that particular time period in Ireland because they're all outside of Ireland. They're all getting cheap flights to go back to these countries. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody's
the government at the time, I'm trying to think of the TD at the time who was in charge of social welfare. Not think of her name, but she had a very awkward time inside Dáil when she was being questioned about that one.
Well, shouldn't they have lost their benefit because they failed to sign?
Technically, yes. There was a massive investigation that never ended, I don't think.
Oh.
I'm just thinking, I'm actually, that's why I missed out on Thomas right now.
Yes, we need.
You can do the research as we're speaking. But I do remember there was an investigation. There was, I think, I'm just looking here now. They put in place tighter controls and so on.
Right. Oh, Doubting Thomas will be here next week.
Next week, yes.
Yes.
There we go.
We will have the research arm of the A&P Gents doing the work. So.
Yes.
Right.
Not me typing and talking at the same time.
Let's get back to the dank.
Is focused on migrants crossing the English Channel in overloaded boats run by smugglers, as well as escalating tensions over housing tens of thousands of asylum seekers at public expense. To help resolve the crisis, the government announced Sunday that it would speed up asylum appeals that could lead to more deportations and clear a backlog of cases. Here's a look at the issue. The protests. The latest round of demonstrations followed weeks of protests outside the Bell Hotel in Epping on the outskirts of London, after a hotel resident allegedly tried to kiss a 14-year-old girl and was charged with sexual assault. He did a little bit more than that, you dishonest fucks. He fucking grabbed her arse and grabbed her down there and everything. Shut the fuck up. Fucking AP. The man had denied the accusations and is due to stand trial later this month.
That's going to be a
Wow.
flashpoint. That's going to be a problem.
That's a massive problem.
Epping is going to blow up. It'll be effing Epping
Well,
blowing up.
they'll flood. You know what they're going to do? They're going to flood the zone with police. There's no one going to get next to near that courthouse. They're going to have it flooded.
One would hope.
And fairness now to the UK, well, UK have a very good tradition of putting down protests of any sort.
Oh,
yeah.
As an Irishman, I'm sure you're aware.
Yeah, so yeah.
You've been on the wrong side of the bobbies before. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Epping Forest District Council won a temporary injunction to shut down the hotel because of unprecedented levels of protest and disruption, which had led to several arrests. The High Court decision Tuesday in favour of the council, which the government wants to appeal, inspired anti-migrant demonstrators gathering under the banner of Abolish Asylum System to protest over the weekend. The group Stand Up to Racism rallied counter-protesters. Stand Up to Racism is a government-controlled op. The protesters are paid. They're all agents that work for the government.
Whoa. Okay. Ooh.
No. Okay. Despite what Count Dankula says, we have these counter-protests over here too. And trust me, these guys they're being paid by the government because most of them on the dole over here.
Right.
But just saying. Just saying.
Their paycheck comes from the dole, not because they're paid to be a protester.
So, are they technically paid by the government?
Yes,
technically
they
paid by all of us. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, here we go.
Have you not noticed how they're always there, no matter how late the protest gets announced, where people will go, we're not going to say the specific location, it's going to get announced on the day. Stand Up to Racism are all there with those white vans carrying all the exact same signs with the exact same wood and everything, like all professionally printed, and they're always there on time, and they actually get driven to the location of the protest.
It is strange that the signs are the same signs and they're professionally done.
Yeah, but anyone get a sign professionally done. You just
I get that, but it just seems that it's not organic, right? It seems like it's a forced thing.
It looks that way, but it could be just down to lack of imagination too.
But if it's the same signs and it's the same people, that's unhinged.
The funny enough is I've seen a lot of these protests from a previous job. I did a lot of driving. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of these protests all over the place. And to be honest, now usually the left-leaning protesters are not usually the, how can I put it in a nice way, the sharpest tool in the box. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised they all have the same slogans. Even over here, the same bloody slogans.
They're the shortest caper in the caber toss. They're the shortest caper in the caper toss. Yes, yeah.
Yes, there we go. Yes. We can't use any bad words here.
All right, here we go.
By the police. Have you ever noticed that? Stand Up to Racism are a government-controlled operation. They're MI5 or MI6 or some shit. Right? They literally work for the government. There is no counter-protest.
MI5 or MI6 are not that smart.
Oh, I don't know. MI6 was pretty good. I heard they were pretty good. Isn't that the outfit that James Bond works for, the MI6, right?
Oh, yeah. In reality, yeah. No.
Thank you, Ian Fleming.
I don't know. I just got a fit of laughs here.
Actually, I think my favorite book by Ian Fleming is probably Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. A great movie too.
You remember I don't know over in the US, but every Christmas in Ireland, RT has every morning, even till now, every Christmas morning has Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
We get the Nightmare. No, not the Nightmare Before Christmas. We get A Christmas Story, the one with the kid with the Red Ryder BB gun. You'll shoot your eye out. You'll shoot. Yeah. Oh my God.
No. Wow. No.
You never saw that
one? Never saw that one.
Oh, so
we have Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and
well, that's truly scrumptious. That is truly scrumptious.
God, it's been so long since I actually watched RT in the morning for the kids' movies. Show my age now, but I know it's on every year because we were actually talking about it last Christmas.
There you go. All right, here we go.
there to obviously beat up a bunch of the right-wingers, stage a few incidents so the right-wingers get arrested and not them, so the police get to take out some important figureheads in the opposing forces, but also because it makes the public think, oh, there's so many people that are against this. They're not, they're actors. They're not, but I want to be with the good guys that are against it. They're not against it, they're actors.
Well, the thing is, if it was an organic protest and it was coming up like that in every place, then yeah. But it's a false flag. Like, they're sending a bad signal. And
it does it. Yeah, I see where Count Dankula is coming from, but yeah, their government pleds. I know it's a bit of tongue-in-cheek humor. I know what he's going for, but yeah,
they're fucking actors. One of the biggest ones is Paul Sillett. He's a paid fucking government
they're not actors.
fed.
That would involve walking.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that involves walking.
He's a fucking snitch, right? So, and also see if you're an Antifa and you're like, we're planning this and that and everything, and then suddenly you get raided. See if Paul Sillett heard about it. He snitched on you, right? He's a fed. But anyway, two groups hurled insults at each other and in several communities Saturday as police struggled in places like Bristol to keep them apart. There were more than a dozen arrests, but no serious violence reported. Groups gathered peacefully outside hotels used to house migrants in Birmingham and London's Canary Wharf on Sunday. The hotels. The government is legally obligated to house asylum seekers. No, we're not.
They're not. They're literally not. They're not.
Actually, technically, under international law, you're supposed to. International law is more of a grey law. But most people ignore international law the best times. So yeah, you could stretch it. They're legally obligated under international law, but international law is more of a pinky promise to each other.
Right. We'll do this because we're good people. The problem is when people take advantage of the system and they just weigh it down, right?
No, the only time you're legally obligated is if they claim asylum because they're going to be in imminent danger. So what happens in both UK and Ireland and most countries, they go into a system called the IPO, the International Protection System. Now, are you legally obligated under international protection? Those people? Yes, but you're supposed to be also interviewing them.
And if
I know people under international protection in Ireland.
If there's no imminent issue, imminent issue and they lied, then why aren't they immediately shipped?
Yeah, they're immediately shipped.
I hope so.
No. Yeah. Just say no. We're an independent sovereign country. Say no. Just say fucking no. Just say nope. Away you go. Send them straight back. That's it. We've no duty of care. Right. See if they were literally an immediate instant neighbour and we really were the nearest, safest country. Okay, then maybe.
So that means that there isn't a country in Europe that would go to the UK? They couldn't because there's all those other countries on the west coast of Europe that would be between where those folks are coming from and the UK.
Yeah, we were talking Belgium, France, Spain, and so on. Yes.
Yeah, all of them are closer to where the problems are coming from, right?
Yes.
So they shouldn't be there in the first place because they had to have gone through so many other safe countries prior to getting to the UK, right?
Yeah, we have the same problem. We have the same problem here in Ireland.
Well, yeah, because yours are coming from the UK. Right?
Yeah, our problem is they're going to the UK and then coming through Northern Ireland into us. Like we're literally we're like the UK at the moment. We're like the last port of call as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a crazy, overwhelming situation for both countries at the moment. Our systems, their health systems, struggling, same as us. Our school systems are struggling, same as us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if shit kicked off in Northern Ireland
or
something, or things kicked off in Ireland, or there was a bit of a famine in Ireland again, or whatever. Okay, we're the nearest neighbouring safest country. Fine, I consider them refugees. Fine, there's a little olive branch. See the guy for Turkey, Afghanistan, Iraq, India that had to pass through 18 different safe countries that all have food and no war and no persecution to get here specifically for the money? No, they can go the fuck back. Fuck off. Using hotels to do so had been a marginal issue until 2020, when the number of asylum seekers increased sharply, and the then Conservative government had to find new ways to house them. A record 111,084 people applied for asylum in the year to June 2025, but fewer than a third of them are temporarily living in hotels, according to Home Office figures released Thursday. The number of asylum seekers housed in hotels stood at just over 32,000 at the end of June, the Home Office said. That figure was up 8% from about 29,500 a year earlier, but far below the peak of more than 56,000 in September of 2023.
There's a lot more in the UK than that, though. There's a lot more than that.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, but that's half our numbers. We have over 100,000 people being privately housed by our government.
Well, no, but while I understand what I'm saying is there's a lot more that are in enclaves and other kinds of communities that are being hidden from the government. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Now, I think this exposes another really, really great thing is the government is letting them all in, but doesn't actually have the money or resources to build housing for them or build temporary accommodation. So the government, like it's always had to do, has again had to approach the private sector, that in this case being the hotel owners, saying, hey, we'll give you like an exorbitant amount of money if you put these guys up in your hotel, and we'll pay for all the repairs and et cetera, that we have to do. Right, so that's the government basically admitting, once again, we caused a problem that they can't fucking fix, so we're going to use your taxpayers' money to ask the private sector, because that's all the government is. It's a middleman between us and the private companies. The government doesn't build ambulances. It doesn't build police cars. It doesn't make police uniforms. It doesn't even do the police's weapons. It doesn't even do the handcuffs. They make all the fucking stuff that's in the NHS. Private companies make that. The government doesn't produce syringes or pharmaceuticals or anything like that. The government is a middleman between us and the private companies. That's all it is. It goes, no, you don't want to deal with the private companies. We're going to deal with the private companies on your behalf. So what we'll do is you give us £100 in your taxes, and after
I see the point he's making there. We all know this. Yeah, the government are not really good. Any government is not really good at handling taxpayers' money. Yeah,
that's why his hat says taxation is theft.
Yeah, it is. Because it's very, very frustrating. I know I've talked to people in the UK. I've talked to a lot of people over here. It's very frustrating to go out there Monday to Friday, work your 40 plus hours, and come back to your flat. You have and a lot of young people are the same. Come back to your flat. No matter how hard you save, you know in your heart and soul you're never going to get a house.
Yep.
And then somebody gets off the boat, literally, goes through a bit of a hoo-ha, and they're handed a house or a flat or whatever, and they don't have to pay a bob for it. Very, very frustrating.
Right. Here we go.
Wages and frittering away money, and we will give you £15 worth of service. Right, that's what they do. They're middlemen that pocket most of the fucking money. Right, we're also going to take a bit of the money to use for other things, drone striking children. They're not going to drone strike themselves. Like we're going to get involved in global homo wars all around the world and everything. And at the end of the day, you get about £10 worth of service for your £100. Maybe you'll get it in about 9 months. Also, no, we shut down the call centres. You have to write us a letter, which we'll respond to in 12 months. Right? It's a fucking shambles. Right? It's an absolute fucking shambles. The government...
We can send an email or a message across the planet, but I have to write you a letter? Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, exactly the same. Exactly the same here.
They go fucking begging to the private sector with our money to fix the mistakes that they fucking made. Which is why I'm libertarian. But anyway, many politicians, such as hard right Reform UK leader Nigel Farage, they're calling him hard right now instead of far right. Wow, he got upgraded. Have sought to link many of the problems the country faces, such as healthcare and housing, to migrant arrivals. It is in fact because of that. Right, the reason that you're taking so long to get a hospital appointment or get seen by the doctors is because of the migrants. Because basically, I've said this a million times, I don't know why people don't get it. NHS and social services and school fundings are all calculated based on the amount of people that live in the area, as well as the amount of taxes that person has paid throughout their life. It's calculated by the amount of people putting money into the pot. What's happened now is a bunch of new people have came in who are all putting their hands in the pot, who have never paid into the pot in their entire lives. So when you have more people, more hands taking money out of the pot than there is putting money into the pot, the money fucking runs out. At which point the government and council has to start making cuts. Instead of getting your bin collected every week, it's now every 2 weeks. Or sorry, now it's every 3 weeks. Or sorry, now we only collect it on these certain certain specific days. You also have to arrange them by fucking recycling and all that type of stuff. Oh yeah, the doctors. Remember the day you used to get a doctor to your house? Now you have to phone up and argue with a fucking receptionist who has no medical degree whatsoever, and you can only phone between 8 o'clock and 8:30 in the morning. At the same time, hundreds of other people are also trying to call to speak to this one receptionist so that you can argue your case to maybe get an appointment, maybe get a phone appointment in about 4 months, right? How did that happen, right? Because it's either too many people are using the service and they're fucking swamped, or there's no fucking money left to run it the way it used to be run. What changed? What happened?
HSE, our HSE is exactly in the same position over here. Exactly the same. He's dead right. Ring up a hospital there. But even if you have insurance, you're still going into the same system.
What about emergency?
Or you're paying your insurance. You're going exactly into the same system.
What about emergency services?
Emergency services?
Mm-hmm.
They're under a lot of pressure. There's been, every time you listen to the radio lately, especially I'd say in the last 12 months, it's got worse.
So what happens here in the United States when people don't have insurance or they can't get a doctor's appointment, they just go to the ER. They just go to the emergency room. They're like, I have an issue.
They're doing that here.
Yeah, I don't have another route to get medical assistance.
Yeah, and then they get overwhelmed.
Yep,
it's just around and around we go. But he's right. There's so many people with the hand in the pot right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then fewer and fewer people are putting into the pot.
Yep, that's a fact.
He's right. Yeah.
All right.
I can think of a few things, but bugger off. Others, including the government, argue that the likes of Nigel Farage are whipping up the issue for political gain and that there are no easy answers to an issue affecting many European countries. There is an easy answer. Get rid of them. Send them back. Send them back. That's it.
That seems like a good solution.
That's a very straightforward, simple solution. I know where they came from. If they came originally from Belgium, I'm just using Belgium for instance, or they originally came from France or Spain or wherever they came from, how would you get here? Or flown such and such, or got from such and such. Send them back there. If they came from whatever country, Morocco or wherever, send them back there. He's right. Just send them back.
It's a simple solution. It's not easy, but I think in the end it would be probably the best.
It'd be a hell of a lot cheaper than putting them up for the next 30, 40 years. It'd be a hell of a lot cheaper than that.
And since Thatcher has left politics there in the UK in 1990, you've had over 70% in the UK percentage of the constituency, regardless if it's Tories or Labour or whatever, like they have said, we don't want illegal immigration. We don't want this. We don't want this. 35 years of telling your constituency, we know better, like your parents, like, you're the government. You're not my mother and father. Stop. Right?
Yeah, we have the same over here. Ireland has exactly said the same thing.
Just send them back.
Keep staying it.
Yeah. Keep it. We don't want it.
We do not have a duty of care. The leader of the...
Oh, that's another interesting thing about duty of care. So duty of care is a medical thing. It is not an immigration thing. You do not have the duty to care for those who are not your citizens. Right? Except in certain cases of those seeking asylum who can show you that there is a safety issue. Right?
Don't get me wrong. I'm all for asylum seekers who have genuine cases, who have genuinely proven their case.
Right.
But the vast majority haven't or can't because they've just made up a load of bull.
Facts.
Like, I've come across people who have worked in the immigration service. I'm thinking of the time of the Syrian civil war. A load of them flooded into Europe from the Syrian civil war, from Turkey, by the way, and from Greece.
Yep.
Most of them lived in Turkey for 8+ years before fleeing the war in Syria. Anyway, and a bunch of guys were there. Okay,
right.
Now, Arabic is a primary language around the Syrian region. So English is our primary language in the US and Ireland. Most of these guys couldn't understand Arabic. Most of them were from a different part of Africa, completely, but claimed to be Syrian. It's just craziness. 5 minutes of talking to these guys, you knew they weren't Syrian. They're no more Syrian than I was. It's crazy. He's
main
right. Just
opposition
send them back.
Conservative
Find out their line. Just send them back.
Yep, facts. Bye.
Party Kemi Badenoch urged Tory councils all over the country to launch legal challenges similar to that of Epping if their legal advice allowed. Basically, the reason that they managed to get them out of the Epping hotel is it was the funniest thing. They actually had to use the government's own bureaucracy against it. Because the government turns around and goes, no, you will do this. You will have the migrants. You will have your 12-year-old daughter getting really inappropriate sexual dick pics on fucking Facebook from random men from this hotel. Right? No, you will have that. However, what they've done was, this hotel is being used as a facility to house migrants. That was not in the planning permission requested by the hotel when it was first built. Therefore, the hotel is in violation of its planning permission agreement. And then the council had to kind of go, oh, because the council enforces that shit fucking hard, by the way. I know people...
Do you know what an HOA is?
Yeah.
So the UK has
HOA,
a... Go ahead.
HOA. Are you talking
HO.
about the housing associations you have over there?
Yes. So the UK is a giant HOA, dude. It's a giant HOA.
Yeah. We have local county councils who are probably nicer than... I've seen some horror stories about homeowner associations from the US side.
Right. Well, do you know what the purpose of a homeowners association is functionally?
It's supposed to maintain the property and value of your area, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. The value of the property. So you don't have a bunch of dead grass and busted windows and falling fences and stuff. So.
Yeah. But I also have seen some horror stories.
Oh, yeah. Some of them are really bad. There's a ton of funny YouTube videos about people who work for the HOA thinking they can just get up on your property and go in your house and like
that kind of
crazy.
stuff. Yeah. I personally, I would not like something like that around my area.
Well, the thing is so a lot of states have a thing called castle doctrine and stand your ground laws. So if someone comes in your house, you can kill them. You can kill them. So states that don't have that are places where HOAs tend to flourish because they can do wild shit and you really can't do anything to deter them.
There was a thing a couple of years back where people in Ireland, a lot of states in Ireland, got together and they said, oh, do you know what, we'll set up this residence committee. And, we'll do what they do in America. And I was sitting there when I heard this going, this is going to end in tears. This is definitely going to end in tears. Because what's going to happen is some little, whoever it is going to be in charge of that. And they're suddenly going to be like a little mini dictator running around the place, just trying to violate you for every single thing. And guess what? Most of them did not work out.
Well, a lot of it is they fine you. Like they'll give you fines, right? And then if you're so if you're fines. So if your HOA penalties, right? So if your HOA fee comes out of a bank account that's linked to the thing, they will literally pull your money out of your account for a penalty. They will,
and people actually allow that to happen. People actually sign up for these HOAs.
You don't have a choice if you're going to move into some areas. Like it's part of the deal.
You're serious? You have no choice.
Yeah, if you want the house. But the thing is, the property values are a lot higher in those areas that have HOAs, right?
Yeah, but I just have a vision of this little person coming up knocking on my door every 5 minutes going, your grass is 2 inches too high today.
Oh, I got an email from them that said you have weeds, right? And they sent me a grainy picture of the front of my house, and I sent it back and I said, if you can point out the weed on the picture you sent me, I'll go out there and pick it right now. So we went rounds. Me and Karen went rounds on that one. Come over and show me, and I'll be home from this time to this time. Come show me.
Just a general advice to anyone. If you're living in Ireland and you figure out there's some kind of residence committee in your area, just it's not worth the headache. It's not.
Right. Don't
buy the house.
Don't be that.
And in America, if it involves a HOA of any sort, just don't do it. Just don't. That would me personally, that would just drive me nuts. In my estate, if we went to genuinely do something with the estate, I just go around and we meet up as neighbors. Look, common green needs to be cut. This is how much the contractor is going to be.
Yep.
And then guess what? We all get together, throw money at it, hire the contractor, and off we go. We don't need a committee to do this.
No, you don't. No. You don't need somebody pulling the money directly out of your bank account to change that.
Oh, no. And is it true they can put a lien on your house for HOA fines?
Yes.
Wow. That's legal. That's 100% legal.
It depends on the jurisdiction, but in a lot of places, yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And people tolerate that?
They don't pay attention. until it affects them, and
wow.
then it's too late, right? So.
Oh yeah, it's like, but it's like the frog, you know.
Yeah, you slip down to the bottom of the slippery slope, and now you're looking up, and you can't get back up.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh no, that would just drive me bananas. Yeah. Oh
Right.
God, no.
Here we go.
Tear sheds down, tear fences down over the minus. Basically, we have a countrywide HOA. We have a countrywide HOA where it doesn't matter if you outright own your house, the council gets to decide what you are and are not allowed to do to it. It's a fucking nightmare. Right? Even something as simple as putting a window in, you need to do it to their exact specifications if you're lucky enough to get the permission to do it. But
yeah, the council
basically, because they're so hardcore on it, they went, let's file a planning permission thing. And the council came down hard on it because they're hard on that shit. That's why the migrants are being moved out of that hotel. Right, so that's why other people are going, and they're all now filing their same submissions, right, to get all the migrants kicked out of the hotels. And it's hilarious that the government's own over-the-top bureaucracy has been used against it. I just think that's fucking funny. I just think that's really fucking funny and deserved. The ruling Labour Party dismissed her appeal as desperate and hypocritical nonsense, but several Labour-led councils have also suggested they too could mount legal action against asylum hotels in their areas. The worry is that tensions could explode into the sort of violence that ravaged many towns and cities in England last summer in the wake of a stabbing rampage at a dance class that left 3 girls dead and several wounded because it was done by a black terrorist man. It was that's why people were upset about it. Why are you leaving out that little detail, AP? I know why. The government's first priority is to sharply decrease the number of dangerous channel crossings. We have the means to do it over and over. We're just not doing it. That's the problem. There have been more than 27,000 unauthorised arrivals so far this year, nearly 50% higher than at the same point last year, and ahead of the number at this time of year in 2022, when a record 45,755 came ashore, the Home Office said.
So these are little boats. So that's 27,000 plus boats that have 10 to 12, 15 people on them, and where do they go when they get here? If you're only housing 32,000 of them,
it's not just that. By the way, before we go down the whole rabbit hole of the little tiny boats, it's not just little tiny boats. A lot of them are fishing boats. These big, massive commercial fishing boats as well. Everyone knows it. Everyone knows the fishing fleets are doing it. Fishermen are doing it as well. It's not just a little fella hopping on the English Channel and getting on the little tiny dinghy.
Right.
Yeah, there is them. But most of them are commercial boats. Hop and search them. They do in Australia all the time.
They do.
Out there in Australia there a couple of years ago. They found out that this commercial ship was coming over, packed full of Indonesians at the time. The Australian Navy went out, told them to stop. Australians, they didn't stop, so the Australians boarded the ship, took it over, and literally sailed it right back to Indonesia. Literally, the Australians sailed it right back to Indonesia.
Get out of here. Go back
home. One thing with Australians,
you're gonna.
Yeah, the Australians are that. If you haven't figured out, the Australians are slightly nuts.
A little bit.
They're a nutty country. They just do wild stuff all the time. But that particular point, everyone was going, "Oh, you can't do this, you can't do that." The Australian government at the time, the defense minister was going, "Yeah, that's breaking law. They're just going to board it and take it over," and they just sailed it back. Everyone gave out, but they still sailed the boat back. They didn't care.
They didn't want to give up their Vegemite, bro. Can't give up the Vegemite. Hell no.
Oh, no one likes Vegemite. Jesus.
There's a limited amount of Vegemite. We can't let the Indonesians.
We call it Marmite over here, by the way. If anyone from Ireland, we call it Marmite. Okay. Or Bovril is another kind of similar product that we have in Ireland. It's awful, by the way. No one likes it. You know, the only reason it's still alive is because grandparents doesn't want to torture their grandkids. That's it. That's the only reason it's still around.
Must be.
Yeah, because grandparents going, we had to suffer through this, so now you're going to suffer.
Nice.
You know, they're passing it down. Conservative administration's plans to send migrants who arrive by unauthorised means to Rwanda, Prime Minister Keir Starmer said his government would disrupt the gangs profiting off of migrant trafficking.
Wait a second. Why is everyone going back to Rwanda? Why there? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, the French authorities actually know who they are. They're quite happy because it means that they're quite happy for them to continue because it gets them off of French shores and into British waters, which means that not a problem anymore.
I know why the French are doing it. I can tell you why the French are doing it to the UK. They don't like you. Sorry.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there's not a mystery here. France gets rid of her problem and also kind of screws the UK at the same time. Is that rocket science?
officials know who the fucking traffickers are. They're working in France. They're on the beach coordinating the fucking shit. They're not some like secret masterminds like fucking Kaiser Sose fucking shit. No, the French know who they are. They just won't do anything about it because they're dealing with a problem for them. But anyway, the government is also looking to speed up processing asylum claims. It's hoping a deal with France to send migrants who cross the channel back to France will deter for others. Whether those plans succeed, the issue of what to do with the tens of thousands
tell you what the French are going to say to them. I already can tell you what the French are going to say. Then what Belgium, Spain, and the rest of them are going to say to you, the UK. Go away. We're not going to. They're just not going to do it. They're going to tell them, you know what? Go F yourselves. That's pretty much what they're going to say.
Asylum seekers in the country remains. The government scrapped the use of a barge to house migrants off the south coast earlier this year and plans to end housing at military barracks in Kent next month. But a former airbase in Essex is expected to add more beds for men seeking asylum. The easiest option would be most likely house asylum seekers in the private sector.
Whoa.
So basically pay landlords exorbitant amounts. I am a land chad. The answer is fucking no. But that risks compounding problems in the rental market in a country where house building has been low for years because there is so much governmental red tape on where and when people are allowed to build homes.
The UK HOA. The UK HOA problem, right?
Yeah, it's the local, the county councils have ridiculous planning laws.
Barrett homes and all these other places are, I realise Barrett's a bit of a meme. They're called McMansions for a reason, right? But
so in New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, lots of other places, it is insane to try and build any kind of building, right? If you want to build a bathroom at a park in New York, LA, or San Francisco, it's going to cost way over $1 million for like a $15,000 to $16,000 structure, because the planning commission, it's like everybody's trying to get paid off, right?
Everybody wants a piece of the pie in their bank account.
It's horrible.
Pretty much.
So
no, in fairness to the UK, I don't know what, but planning permission is pretty. Well, I would say not pretty straightforward here. The problem is it's so slow.
Right, it's super convoluted.
It's slow.
Yeah, it's slow here too. It's super convoluted. If I want to build something in the county I live in, right? I got to go to the city, and I have to say, hey, I want to do an addition to my house. And they'll be like, okay, you need blueprints. You got to pay for that.
Yeah.
And then you got to show that it's structurally sound. You have to show, it's a whole thing. It's a lot.
Yeah,
there's a whole thing. I don't want to go into the whole thing because
everyone just loves red tape, though. They just love it. Especially county councils, they just love their forms and red tape.
I wanted to put an addition on my house, right? I wanted to do a mother-in-law quarters in the backyard, and they're like, absolutely not. I'm like, no, but here's the plans. It's safe. It's good. Like, it follows. They're like, no. I'm like, it's up to code. They're like, we don't care if it's up to code. You don't get to do that there because we have some. Yeah, I was like, okay, cool. Yep, that's awesome.
Well, they're encouraging us over here at the moment to come. They're relaxing the law around adding on to your house now.
Okay.
And I was going, all right, what's the story here? So I looked into it. So you can build onto your house structure, to house people and so on.
Yeah.
But the downside is it can only be used to house people not from Ireland.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. I was looking at it kind of going, this is a great idea. Then I scrolled down and I was going,
oh my God.
By the way, the incentive is if you do it, it's tax-free.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh. Count Dankula is definitely on one here. All right.
Yeah.
For Patrick McCallum, I am Alex Johansson. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all the things, help us beat the algorithm. We are out.